Well, Nompo, the character of Senzo Meyiwa's best friend really coming under scrutiny from this morning. A lot of focus, Advocate Zandile Mshololo also placed on exactly how much he was paid by Netflix. You would know that Madlala has refused to tell this court exactly how much he was paid to participate in that Netflix documentary, which was aired just days before this trial began. But what Advocate Zandile Mshololo basically was looking to was his character, in that she asked if he had given any of the proceeds or the money that he made off selling those personal photographs to any of the Meyiwa family, and even to Senzo Meyiwa's young child. She basically asked him if he knew that his best friend was married, and he responded by saying that he knows that Senzo Meyiwa had paid lobola from Mandisa Mkhize. And when asked, if any of the money he thought of giving it to Senzo Meyiwa's wife or even the child, he said he didn't see the need to do that. Judge Chifiwa Maumela even asking Madlala a question about whether, as an African, he did not see the need to do so, given that, in African culture, my child is your child. So in this instance, why he didn't see it fit to share some of those proceeds with Mandisa Meyiwa as well as the young child. Let's take a listen to that exchange.
But you decided not to give that poor child even a cent from the money that you benefited from Netflix.
Kodwa uthethe isinqumo sokuthi yona le ngane le ungayiniki nesente emnyama kule mali oyizuzile wena.
Yebo, anginikanga, akekho futhi umuntu engamnika, even nasekhaya.
Yes, I did not share it with the child. There's no one that I shared this money with, even people at my own home.
Your behavior is very shocking. The manner in which you behaved yourself after the death of Senzo Meyiwa.
Another focus then, Nompo, on the manner in which police had handled the crime scene. Remember, this has been a bone of contention since the start of this trial. In previous testimony as well, you would recall there had been testimony asked about whether police had done any swabs on the crime scene. In terms of the individuals that were inside the house when this incident had taken place, again, we're hearing from Tumelo Madlala that no blood tests had been taken on them. And this would be quite crucial because the court then would need to determine the level of intoxication of those that were inside the house. By Madlala's own version, they had been drinking on that particular day, and Advocate Zandile Mshololo has relied heavily on that in terms of the alcohol consumption, and whether Madlala had even seen any of the intruders that were inside the house at that on that day. That's quite crucial because you remember he pointed to accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, inside this court as one of the intruders that he says Senzo Meyiwa had pinned against the wall. Let's take a listen to that part.
When you came back from the hospital, is it correct that you find the police inside the house?
Sesa kule phuzu lokuthi ke bophuzule utshwala ngisho Nkosi yami mani buya lesibhedlela ke niyathola amaphoyisa asekhona lapha endlini ngaphakathi.
Yebo, asekhona.
Yes.
Did the police do any blood test on you, together with all the other people who were present when the incident took place, who were with you, were drinking alcohol with you when the shooting incident took place? Did the police take any blood test from you?
Lala kahle Nkosi yami ke wona lamaphoyisa ayenza lokuhlola kwegazi noma thatha i-blood test kuwe kanye nalabantu bebakhona endlini ngesikhathi kudutshulwa labantu bophuze nabutshwala.
No, abathathani igazi.
No, they did not take any blood.
Nompo, in addition to that, police didn't take any swabs off the hands of any of the individuals that were inside the house. Now, this would have been crucial in ruling out that any of the individuals inside the house had pulled the trigger. In this is no gun residue had been taken, or swabs had been taken from the hands of the individuals inside the house. Let's take a listen to that part of proceedings.
Is there any test that was done from your hands as Tumelo Madlala, which is a prime residue, my lord? But I don't want to use that term to the witness. That's why I'm saying, were there any tests that were done in your hands by the police? I think that's the better term for a layperson to describe the prime residue test, my lord. If I may be assisted in that regard.
I don't know where your concern is. Shouldn't we explain to him?
Yes.
What test for prime residue
is? Oh, thank you, my lord.
Are about.
Thank you, my lord.
Mr. Madlala, when an individual wields a firearm and fires, there is what word shall I? There is suit S-W-O-T that somehow falls onto the hand. Then the question by the advocate is whether any tests were done on your hand or your hands to find out whether there is any suit that is attached to your hands.
Umbuzo oqhamuka kumeli inkosi yami uthi uyabona ke njengoba inkosi enkantolo iqeda ukuchaza ukuthi uma umuntu aphethe isibhamu asebenzisa adubula ngaso kukhona okuthile ngesilungu bathi isudu kodwa ke cishe kusanje ngimphuphunya lokho kuphuma lapha esibhamini kuba sezandleni zomuntu lo ophethe isibhamu osebenzisa kwanisho manje umbuzo kameli ukuthi ingabe wena ke ikhona i-test noma ukuhlola ezandleni okuye kwenziwa kuwe njengoTumelo Madlala mayelana nalephuzelo njengalelo? It was never done on us.
All right, reference also made to one of the statements that Tumelo Madlala had deposed, in which he described the firearm that he saw as old and rusty. Advocate Zandile Mshololo pressing him on how he could have looked at the gun and given details about it, yet within this court he said that he had looked slightly at it. This was of course the first intruder. He described the first intruder as the one that was carrying the gun. And just towards us going towards the lunch break, Nompu, quite crucially, in that Advocate Zandile Mshololo pressing him on whether he was able to see who had pulled the trigger on that day. He said no, he did not see who pulled the trigger.
Thanks very much, my colleague there, Chriselda Lewis.